Meanwhile, Myanmar's military could be preparing for an attack that is aimed at its opponents. The United Nations Human Rights Office believes that this attack could be imminent. And the warning has come amidst a heavy build-up of weapons and troops that has been observed across the country. The agency has warned that the deployment of these troops and artillery by Myanmar military in the Chin state, central Sagaing city and the Magway regions may pose as a threat for people living in Myanmar within these areas. This is military being used against its own people. A United Nations human rights spokeswoman has said that the agency has documented intensifying attacks by the army within the Chin state and other areas within Myanmar. The deployment of the two special operation commanders in these areas have escalated the risk of potential attacks on civilians and other political opponents.
Happened now over the past few days. We've seen a real reinforcement, a substantial deployment of heavy weapons and troops in these areas, in the townships that I mentioned. And what has prompted us to speak out again today about this is that there have been two special operations commanders who have been reportedly directed to address the conflict in these areas. And the deployment of these high-level commanders, coupled with the internet shutdown, and the deployment of heavy arms to this area has really led us to become very alarmed and concerned that there may be an imminent attack, a very serious attack against the civilian population.
Now, according to the Human Rights Office, mass detention of civilians has been stepped up since the 7th of September, and these escalating atrocities by the Myanmarese army on its own civilians have coincided with the declaration of the People's Defensive War against the ruling Myanmar military regime. The Myanmar has been under political chaos since the 1st of February, when the military junta had carried out a coup and had ousted the controversial elected leader Aung San Suu Kyi. The coup ended a brief decade-long experiment of democracy in Myanmar, and nearly about 1,200 people reportedly have been killed in several military crackdowns in the region since then. The growing atrocities have also unleashed a worsening humanitarian crisis within the nation. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.